Boom, 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 boom. You know, it's not the same Patriots team. It's not the Patriots team that dominated the AFC East for the last 20 years. But you know what? To be the team that nails that coffin shut is sweet nonetheless. And today the Miami Dolphins did just enough to win 22-12 and buried the Patriots. You won't be hearing about the Patriots anymore. You know, the Patriots had a long shot. I mean, they came into the game 6-7, and even with a win, it would take a miracle for them to make the playoffs. Because right now, looking at the AFC, you got the Dolphins and Ravens both at 9-5, tied for the 7th seed. One of those teams is not going to playoffs, and it's quite possible that you could have a team in the AFC go 11-5, miss the playoffs, and the Washington football team or New York Giants hosting a playoff game at 6-10, 7-9. That's how bad the NFC East is this year, and it's kind of unfair if you think about it. But the Dolphins today, I mean, the Dolphins, when you read their injury report this morning, you just knew it was going to be a tough day. I mean, no Myles Gaskin, their leading rusher. No Devontae Parker. No Mike Gesicki, who's just become the man. And then no Jakeem Grant. These are their 3 top receivers. Grant's also big on the special teams. So it had to come down to the defense and Tua Tagovailoa making all the plays. And Tua had that pick, an interception right in the end zone. I don't understand what was going on at the end of the first quarter. They hurried like it was the game was ending instead of just letting the clock run out and start in the second quarter. And he threw an off-balance pass under pressure that got picked off in the end zone. But the Dolphins defense came through time and time again, bend, not break. Patriots only managed 4 field goals. Dolphins had a chance to take the lead, but Christian Wilkins got in the way on Xavier Howard's scoop and score. Just happened to have 1 foot out of bounds when the ball just ticked off his damn knee, and that wiped out a great scoop and score. The referees all day, every time you saw a flag or saw the referees making some call, you knew it was going against Dolphins. I mean, today was one of those days where the referees just tried to take control of the game, but the Dolphins didn't let them. I mean, it was a bad first half. They were down 6-0. Jason Sanders missed a field goal. But the Dolphins, as they did against the Bengals a few weeks ago, came out of the locker room a different team. They basically had a better offense in the second half. Nice drive to take the lead out of the locker. Then they get a turnover. And then a perfect fake punt by Matt Hawk. And once again, here's that ref. No, penalty. Taken away. And then I have to listen to, while I'm in the gambling cave, they had on the Direct TV Red Zone. Where's Scott Hansen? This motherfucking thing has a mind of its own. For some reason, it just stopped. It stopped recording, interrupting my train of thought. Who's that asshole that's on the Red Zone on Direct TV? What's that guy's name?
Andrew Siciliano.
Andrew Siciliano. I tried to block out his name because he's so horrible, awful, terrible. The way he says it, let's go see what the Bears are doing. Let's go to Miami. What's with that voice? And then he gets the players wrong. Well, there's a touchdown by Myles Gaskin. Oh, wait a second, he's out of the game. It's civilian man.
We just have to win one of our last 2, presuming that the Giants would lose the race.
Anyway, this guy can't get the names right. His voice is annoying, and then you can look at his face. He looks like that thing. You know that thing that you squeeze and the ears pop out and the eyes pop out? That's what Andrew Siciliano looks like. He is horrible. He is awful. Why can't the NFL save money and just have Scott Hansen do both. This guy is pathetic. He is putrid. He is the most annoying person ever in football. He makes Joe Buck look good. I mean, geez, I actually think he might be married to Flo, or might be Flo's brother.
Flo?
Yeah. From Progressive.
Progressive?
Yes.
Ooh, good for him.
No, that's the most. She's the most irritating person in the.
Oh. Pretty woman.
She's irritating. Irritating. But the Dolphins, after that beautiful fake punt got called back for ridiculous reasons, found themselves down again as the Patriots got the ball and once again had a field goal. But the Dolphins, while the Patriots were settling for field goals, got touchdowns. Tua had a nice 3-yard run, and then they went for 2 and hook and ladder. Who would do a hook and ladder on a 2-point conversion? But it worked. I mean, if that's something, if it doesn't work, you're pissed. If it works, you're excited. And the Dolphins were starting to pull away. Of course, the Patriots got another field goal, but then when the Dolphins went up 22-12, nice time-consuming drive, you just had to feel good. You knew the game was almost over. And then when the Patriots drove down the field, a sack ended it. Cam Newton, you know, Cam Newton, him going to New England has been the greatest gift because Cam Newton is terrible. He stinks. He had a couple of good games start the season, but boy, it's like as they would say, the COVID fag. Now Dolphins head on the road. The last 2 games they play the Raiders, you know, and of course, you know, the Raiders are probably going to show up and play well next week because they've sucked the last month, and you know what that means. And then they have the end of the season in Buffalo, and the good thing about that is the Bills will have nothing to play for. They're going to have nothing to play for in week 17, so they might be resting players, which could help the Dolphins win. As for the rest of the league, of course, we had the Thursday night game where it was the Chargers beat those aforementioned Raiders in overtime 30-27. Raiders defense right now is just pathetic. Trayvon Mullen. I mean, my God, every play Trayvon Mullen was either getting beat or was he getting like knocked over and pass interference. He was terrible. The Bills won their division yesterday, beating the Broncos 48-19. The Packers sleptwalk. Cost me money. 3 points in the second half, freaking Packers. 8.5 spread. 8.5 spread, and you only win by 8. I mean, how many times do I lose by that damn hook? Final score is 24-16. And of course, Sunday, and the game everyone wanted to watch. And CBS, can someone explain to me why this game was on locally in New York? The 49ers and the Cowboys. The game meant nothing. But they just take the Cowboys and just plunge it down your throat. Plunge the Cowboys down your throat each and every time. Cowboys, Cowboys, Cowboys. I gotta hate the Cowboys. This is why everyone hates the Cowboys. The Cowboys suck. They won today. Good for them. They beat the 49ers 41-33. 49ers are friggin' lost. The Atlanta Falcons dominated the first half. 17-0 lead on the Buccaneers. But then, of course, they realized that's Tom Brady over there. We're the Atlanta Falcons. Blew the game. Falcons win 31-27. Titans beat the Lions 46-25. Derrick Henry continuing to make his case for MVP, 147 yards on the ground. Colts once again lucked out on a fumble at the end of the game to beat the Texans 27-20. Bears in the game of survival beat the Vikings 33-27. Back to 7-7. They have a shot at the playoffs. Seattle beat Washington today, 20-15. That will assure that no team in the NFC East finishes better than 8-8, as the Washington has the lead at 6-8 with 2 weeks to go. Ravens brutalized the Jaguars, 40-14. This was a game that was not fit for children. This is a game that should have been censored. This game should have been rated R. This game was just disgusting. It was like watching the Ravens just whip up on a helpless animal, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be on the clock because the Jets, Jets found a way to win. Boy, you leave it up to the Jets, even the Jets can't tank right. They are just totally incompetent. Of course, today the Rams were really bad. I mean, they lost 23-20. I mean, Jared Goff looked like Jared Goff. I mean, earlier in the week, Sean McVay called Adam Gase, and they talked, and they said they'd hang in there. And wouldn't you know it, Sean McVay did his good friend Adam Gase a solid, managing a terrible game. Rams lose to the Jets 23-20, and of course now the NFC West is going to be interesting between them and the Seahawks next week. They got to play the Seahawks basically to decide that division title. And just think, the Rams lost to the Jets. I mean, the Jets. Oh, have fun settling for Justin Fields. The Cardinals beat the Eagles 33-26. And the Chiefs beat the Saints 32-29. And of course, my bets all down the drain. I'm not going to cover the Sunday night game because it's on right now and I want to get this thing published, edited, done. But I picked the Browns, so that probably means good news for the Giants. And that's your Week 15 wrap-up.